Hi! Today I thought we'll talk about some AI use cases for how I use AI on a daily basis. And the notes that you saw in the beginning, these notes here, are the first example actually. I printed those notes on a thermal point-of-sale printer that I got for very cheap at Amazon warehouse deals. And I actually wrote some code with Claude Code in order to drive it. The code includes Markdown support, so I can write my notes in Markdown, and then I just use the code to print it out on this thermal paper. I also wrote an integration into Apple Notes using Claude Code in order to be able to pick any of my notes in Apple Notes and then hit print and get it printed out on the thermal printer. These thermal printers are really fun to use. They're really cheap. You can get them for 70 euros or something. And they are a great way to run some pet projects in. So thermal printer, it's actually a command line utility. I like command line utilities. And there are many other things I use this thermal printer for. I'm using it now to print out the orders for our Asian takeaway. I also created a way to generate fortune cookies with it, all sorts of things, fun things. Number two, I'm also using Claude Code to implement a web portal. And as I was working with Claude on this web portal, we were actually wrestling a lot with web authentication and Cognito and tokens and how to get it work properly, especially using the new feature where you can simply enter your email address, get a magic code through your email, and then you're logged in. And I noticed that Claude Code was starting to mention learnings along the way, like, hey, today we learned this and this and this, and when you use Cognito with this in this way, this other feature is not available, so you need to do it the other way around and stuff like that. And I noticed after 2 or 3 of these learnings that Claude was sharing on its own, hey, why not capture these? So I introduced a new file and told Claude Code to document all the learnings in LEARNINGS.md, and later on I will check out this learnings.md file and see whether I can create a number of blog posts. This is an interesting example of AI learning something that the AI didn't know before or wasn't in its training set. And by capturing these learnings, we can actually create new knowledge and make that available and feed the loop with some good data. So the other thing I created is a vacation stalker bot. So last weekend we booked a vacation home. We like this vacation home, it's fine, but we also noticed that there were better vacation homes around in the same facility, but they were already taken. So I used Claude Code to write a AWS Lambda event bridge based system that would check those other vacation homes on an hourly basis and send me an email if they do become available because somebody else canceled. So vacation stalker bot, that's another use case. I'm not using AI directly to look up those vacations, but I use Claude Code to write some code very quickly to implement this for me. Here's another example that's fun. My wife works as a freelancer, and whenever she does a webinar or consults with her customers, I take care of our Dachshund Elvis. So a couple weeks ago, she gave me these handwritten notes with her upcoming dates, random dates, like when does she do a one-on-one consulting, when is the next training she's giving, including an appointment with her hairdresser, some other dates she's giving. So all in all, these are about 20 or so calendar entries, and I didn't want to put them all into my calendar on my own. So I simply took the handwritten notes, gave them to Claude.app, to Claude AI, the app, and let Claude read all the notes. Asked me a couple of questions for clarification. So what does this mean? What does this other acronym mean? And then I gave it access to my calendar and let it fill my calendar with those notes. Now my calendar has all the dates for my wife, so I know when I need to take care of Elvis. Recently, she sent me another email, this time via email. I did the same thing. I copy-pasted the email into Claude, and another 15 or so appointments showed up on my calendar. And I also asked Claude to look at any calendar conflicts so I can clarify them with my wife. So analog to digital works really well with AI. What else do we have here? Oh, Perplexity. As you know, probably from some of my other videos, I really love working with Perplexity. But a little known secret is that Perplexity is not just a research engine or a search engine. It's also a gateway into many other AI models, including image and video generation models. So actually recently I used Perplexity to generate small videos I use as B-roll for my YouTube channel. Little 8-second clips with random things. For example, in one of my previous videos, I was talking about how to handle the initial time when you're hired for a new tech job. And I used ants as a story there. So I let Perplexity create a small video clip of ants running up and down the forest. Now I realize I could have taken a video clip here myself, but it's easy. You just prompt it, tell it generate a video of something, and then you get the video. And in another video, I did a humorous take of me as me in a surgeon dress, and again uploaded a photo of myself. Asked Perplexity to do a quick video of me looking at myself in a surgeon outfit. And again, easy to do and saved me so much time because I didn't have to look around stock photo sites, stock video sites, deal with licensing and whatever. I looked up the licensing stuff, so you do get license for using everything that you created with those video models that Perplexity offers. And at the back end, they are using whatever models is currently the model du jour. I think this time it was Veo from Google. So pro tip, you can use Perplexity to create videos and images as well. No need to go to a different provider. It's all included in whatever subscription you have with Perplexity. So what else? Oh, in between, quick tip. Not AI usage related, but also really interesting. I'm listening to a podcast called Shell Game by Evan Ratliff. This is a journalist, and he decided to create a voice clone bot of himself. And in this podcast, in the first season, he uses his own voice clone bot to do all sorts of fun things, including calling up hotlines, dealing with scammers, calling up therapists, calling up family members and friends. And there's a lot of good, hard, deep questions he's exploring with this podcast. It's also very funny and entertaining, so really recommend it. Not a way I use AI, but an interesting way and inspiring way to learn more about the future that we are heading into. Now, this video itself, this is probably the last example. The notes you see here that I'm using here, I worked with Claude on actually brainstorming and roughly designing how we want to do this video, and then it created those notes for myself, and I printed them out. A little bit meta, but you know how it is. So I think what I want to say with this video is that using AI is not something that you do once and then it's done or something. It's something that you can weave into your all sorts of everyday activities. And maybe as a bonus example, just yesterday as I was wrapping up my Claude Code project, I realized I didn't know how much time I spent using Claude Code on this specific project. So I asked Claude Code to scrape its own, analyze its own logs and give me an overview of how much time I spent using Claude Code. And as part of the consultancy that I'm working with, we are using Clockify as a tool to actually record the time we spend with clients. And so I asked Claude Code to integrate this with Clockify. So now whenever I work with Claude Code on something that is related to the consultancy that I'm working with. I can update our Clockify account with the amount of time I spent coding for this, and it works beautifully. So now I know I spent 16 hours coding with Claude Code related to this specific project. So even these simple things like how do you integrate one tool with another, today is just one prompt to Claude Code away, and then you have this integration up and running. So that's an interesting way to use AI to integrate random tools together to make your life easier. So with that, I hope this was useful. Now, this was just a very brief overview of what I was doing with AI in the last couple of days. If you want me to dive deeper into any of these use cases, send me a comment, send me an email, let me know, and I might do a full video on one of these use cases, exploring it into much detail. Thank you.